Now, it's been less than 3 years since the United Nations unveiled its Sustainable Development Goals, and businesses are trying to get up to speed. The ambitious targets range from eliminating poverty to reducing carbon emissions, and experts are gathering in Istanbul to see how certain sectors are progressing. One of them is the Chief Economist for the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development, Sergei Guriev. Caitlin McGee sat down with him and asked how businesses are fostering green initiatives.
What we do with the private sector, we try to engage private sector companies in the development process, in moving the country from middle income stage of development to high income, through creating innovation, through investing in sustainable and inclusive projects. And that means working with private sector companies, creating jobs for younger people, creating jobs for women, building in regions which are less developed, investing in green economic projects, and this is for us is one of the priorities. Last year, actually more than 40% of our business was green business, and we do much of that in Turkey as well. In Turkey, half of our business was actually green or renewable energy business.
Okay, so you mentioned 40% there and 50% there. So is there quite a big uptake then, in both in Turkey and in sort of Central Europe, and taking on these green initiatives to sort of green their businesses up?
In longer term, sustainable and inclusive development is actually good business. If you think about this, if you invest in dirty technology today, in 10 years, simply because of changes in regulation, simply because of commitment of governments around the world to Paris Agreement, to Agenda 2030, this investment will be stranded assets. This investment will not be good business, while renewable energy, while green investment is actually going to be profitable. And so companies that think about longer term, these companies invest in sustainable projects. Same with inclusion. If you think about integrating women in the labor force, creating jobs for women, making sure that women have opportunities in the workplace, in the longer term, this is the future, because in the longer term, more women will be in the labor force, especially in this country. And in that sense, companies that prepare themselves for this future are the companies which will succeed, even if not immediately, but definitely in mid-term and longer term.
Okay, how is Turkey and other countries in Europe progressing in closing the gender pay gap?
The main gap is not in the pay gap, but in the labor force participation. In Turkey, in particular, labor force participation is in 30s percentage points. There are some countries in our regions where only a quarter of women of working age are in the labor force. So this is a huge challenge. Well, we do have countries which are more advanced. In countries in Central Eastern Europe and Baltics, which we call advanced transition countries, in some of these countries, there is almost no gap in terms of labor force participation between men and women. So it would be 70% participation in labor force for men and 60% for women. So there is a way to go, huge way to go. And this is where new technology and also policies can actually help women to be more active in the labor force. Flexible work hours, working from home, all of that is being made easier by new technology and innovation.